Morning students, welcome to your social science class. Well students, today we are going to discuss about two very important concepts. One is agricultural development and number two is a comparative study between a farm in India and a farm in the USA. Alright? So students, do you all remember what we discussed in our last class? In our last class, we discussed about the major crops which are found around the world. And students, in this context, let me remind you that yesterday I gave you all a task to go through the PPT very nicely. And I hope you all have done that. So students, before proceeding with today's class, let us do a quick recapitulation of the major crops. Okay? So students, we all know that the major crops which are found in the world, they are classified as food crops, fiber crops and beverage crops. So the food crops include rice, wheat, maize, millets, etc. And the beverage crops include your tea and coffee, and the fiber crops include jute and cotton. But students, these major crops, they can also be classified in another way. Okay, so they can be classified as grains, that means food crops which are grains. Okay, then food crops which are not grains, that means food crops other than grains. And the third classification is the non-food crops. So students, the food crops which are grains include rice, wheat, maize, millet, pulses, cereals, etc. Then the food crops which are not grains include the various vegetables, sugarcane, oil seeds, tea, coffee, etc. So here you can see the beverage crops are also included, right? And then coming to the third classification, that is the non-food crops. So non-food crops will include all the crops which are not edible. It will include rubber, it will include cotton, it will include jute, etc. Okay? And students, you will be surprised to know that India is the producer of 51 leading crops of the world. Isn't that huge? Yes. And students, when I asked you to go through the PPT, I wanted you all to understand the various factors which are required for the growth of these crops. Okay, certain crops require loamy soil, certain crops require alluvial soil, certain crops are grown in India, certain crops are grown in Australia. So it was your task to go through the PPT. So those of you who have not gone through the PPT yet, kindly do that. Okay. So students, now coming to today's class. Today, as I have already told you, we will be discussing two topics. One is the agricultural development and second is the comparison between a farm in India and that of the USA. Okay. So your learning outcome will be, you all will be able to explain what is agricultural development and how agricultural development can take place. Okay. And the second learning outcome will be, you all will be able to differentiate. That means you all will be able to tell the differences between the farming system in India and the farming system in the USA. Alright? So students, agricultural development. Till now we have discussed a lot on agriculture, right? We have come to know what agriculture is. It is basically a process where crops are cultivated, right? So students, don't you think in a country like India, we need to focus on the growth of agriculture? Or in other words, we need to focus on the development of agriculture, right? Because we all know that in India, agriculture is one of the most important occupation. In fact, agriculture is the predominant occupation in India, right? Especially in the rural areas, most of the people, or you can say majority of the people, are dependent on agriculture for their livelihood. So under such a circumstance, don't you think that we need to focus on different ways to develop agriculture? So students, keeping all these things in mind, this concept of agricultural development has been introduced, right? So what is agricultural development? Agricultural development, it refers to all the efforts, okay, all the strategies which are being taken in order to increase the agricultural output, that is the total production, the farm production. Why? Because we all know that the population is increasing day by day, and with the increase in population, the demand for various crops, be it the food crops and the non-food crops, it is increasing, isn't it? So now to fulfill this increased demand, don't you think the agricultural production should also increase? Yes. So students, in order to meet the growing demand of the increasing population, we need to focus on increasing the farm production, and that is known as agricultural development. Okay, and now how can we bring development in agriculture? There are various ways through which we can bring development in agriculture. Okay, so this can be done with the help of better methods, with the help of use of better crops, with the help of increasing awareness among the farmers, etc. Okay, so students, let us discuss about some of the ways in which agricultural development can take place. Number one, so students, if we can increase the total cultivated area, that will lead to an increase in the agricultural output. Okay, suppose today you are cultivating in a very small plot of land. From that small plot of land, the output that will result, that is going to be very small. But if you start cultivating in a large plot of land, your output will also increase, right? So the first thing that we can do is increasing the cropped area, or increasing the total area under cultivation. Not only that, students, we can also focus on cultivating more number of crops. Instead of just cultivating one crop or two crop, we can focus on multi-cropping. Multi-cropping means growth of more than one crop. Okay, so students, the first point is we need to increase the area under cultivation, and we need to increase the number of crops grown. Okay, then the second one is improving irrigation facilities. Now irrigation means watering the agricultural field. We all know that agriculture till today, in most of the remote areas, the farmers are still dependent on monsoon. They are still dependent on rainfall for their agricultural productivity. But rainfall is highly unpredictable, right? So it's high time that we should think of something different. So we should focus on artificial irrigation. Artificial irrigation means watering the fields with the help of artificial systems. That means the farmer should no longer remain dependent on monsoon. There are different facilities which are available nowadays. Irrigational pumps, then dripping systems are available. So with all of these, the fields, agricultural fields, can be watered such that the farmers no longer have to wait till monsoon. Okay, then 3, use of fertilizers and high yielding variety of seeds. So students, fertilizers are required in order to increase the agricultural productivity. Okay, in order to increase the agricultural yield, the quantity. Okay, so when fertilizers are used in the agricultural field, it increases the total productivity. So it's time we should use some artificial fertilizers. In the initial days, or you can say in earlier times, the farmers only use the natural fertilizers, that is cow dung, okay, and the various organic waste in order to fertilize the soil. But now, since we need to focus on increasing productivity, just using the natural fertilizer is not enough. We need to use some artificial fertilizers as well. Okay, and along with that, high yielding variety of seeds. These are artificial seeds which can yield you more output. So such seeds should be used. These are genetically improved seeds. Okay, these are not natural seeds, these are hybrid seeds. Okay, and the fourth way is mechanization of agriculture. So mechanization of agriculture means more and more use of technology in agriculture. Tractors, threshers, harvesters, then your artificial irrigational systems, etc. Okay, so students, by adopting all these strategies, we can bring about an improvement in agriculture, or in other words, we can bring development of agriculture. Okay, and students, why do we need to develop agriculture? We need to develop agriculture in order to increase food security. In India, there are people who sleep hungry, isn't it? Who cannot have 2 square meals a day, isn't it? So the ultimate focus is to increase food security. That means in order to ensure that no one sleeps empty stomach, everyone should get at least meal 2 times a day. Okay, so the main focus of increasing, or the main focus of developing agriculture, is to increase food security, so that everyone can have access to food, the minimum food at least. Okay, and students, it's not that agriculture in India has not developed. It has developed at different places in different parts of the world as well as in India. Okay, so students, we all know that India is a country which is not very much developed. India is a developing country. That means it is developing. It is not completely developed, but it is on the process of developing. Okay, so developing countries like India, they usually practice what type of farming? They usually practice intensive farming. You all know what is intensive farming. Intensive farming is a farming which is basically done on a single plot of land where simple tools are used and more human labor is used. It is a type of subsistence farming where the crops are grown for fulfilling the family needs, right? So developing countries like India, they mostly focus on intensive farming method. Okay, where the crops are grown on small holdings, that means small plot of land, mostly for self-consumption. But when it comes to the developed countries like USA, Canada, Australia, such countries mostly undertake commercial farming. Okay, because these are rich countries, so they undertake agriculture not for self-consumption but for making more and more profit. Okay, that is why they undertake commercial agriculture. And when it comes to commercial farming or commercial agriculture, it is mostly done in large plots of land, in large land holdings. Okay, so now students, we will try to understand the difference between the farming system in India and the farming system in the USA with the help of 2 stories, or you can say 2 case studies. All right, so coming to the story of India, a farm in India. So students, Munna Lal is a person. Okay, he is a small farmer in a village in India who has farmland of about 1.5 hectares. Hectare means 100 acres. That means 100 acres of land together forms 1 hectare. Or in other words, it is equal to 1 hectare is equal to 10,000 meter square. Okay, so Munna Lal is a farmer, a very small farmer. Small means the land holdings that Munna Lal has, it is very less. So that is why he is called a small farmer. Okay, so Munna Lal is a small farmer who has farmland of just 1.5 hectares. Okay, and he purchases genetically better quality of seeds, that is high yielding variety of seeds, from the market every alternate year. That means this year he will purchase high yielding variety of seeds, next year he won't purchase, then next to next year he will again purchase high yielding variety of seeds. So in this way he undertakes cultivation. Okay, the land that Munna Lal has, it is a fertile quality of land, and in his land he on a regular basis. That means every year he grows at least 2 crops, okay, and one of the crops is either wheat or rice, and the second crop it is generally pulses, okay. So it is more or less fixed which crops Munna Lal will grow. He will either grow wheat and pulses, or he will grow rice and pulses, okay. Now when it comes to taking advice, he regularly takes advice of his friends as well as his elders, and sometimes some people who are related to the agricultural sector, maybe the people who are working in the agricultural sector, the agricultural officers, regarding how to cultivate, what precautions should be taken, what to use, what not to use, etc., etc. Okay, so this is how Munna Lal is doing cultivation. Okay, he has a tractor of his own, not his own, sorry, he has a tractor which he has taken on rent for plowing the field. Okay, but in his village, in Munna Lal's village, there are still some people who are using the traditional method of cultivation. Munna Lal is using methods which are quite developed, but there are people in his village who are still stuck in that primitive method, in the ancient methods. Okay, so they are still using that traditional methods of using bullocks for plowing. They do not take tractors on rent. Okay, moreover students, there is a tube well in the nearby field, okay, which is taken on rent to irrigate the field. That means in order to use the tube well to irrigate the field, Munna Lal has to pay rent. Okay, so this is the scenario in India, how farming is undertaken in India. A very small amount of technology, or you can say a very small amount of modern methods are used, and most of the farmers are still using the traditional methods. Okay, and the land holdings that the farmers possess, it is very less, around 1 to 2 hectares. Okay, and students, Munna Lal is not only engaged in cultivation of crops, but he is also engaged in rearing of livestock. Okay, so Munna Lal has 2 buffaloes and a few hens. Okay, so from this he is able to make some extra earnings. That means he sells the milk in the cooperative store. Cooperative stores, these are generally found in the village areas, where some group of people, they form some kind of organization. Okay, there are farmers cooperative, there are industrial cooperative. So in this way, different people belonging to some particular occupation, they form an organization. Okay, this is known as cooperative. So he sells the milk in the cooperative store, which is located in the nearby town. Okay, he is a member of one of the cooperative society, which also advises him on the type of fodder for his animals. That means what to feed his animals. Okay, so he regularly takes advice from the cooperative society of which he is a member. Okay, and he also takes advices regarding what safety measures to adopt in order to protect the health of his livestock, the buffaloes and the hens, and certain artificial insemination process. Artificial insemination process means artificially that means using some artificial reproduction methods through which he can milk his buffaloes. Okay, so in this way Munna Lal is doing farming and livestock rearing. Okay, and in this work Munna Lal is not alone. His family also helps him. His family helps him in cultivation. His family also helps him in rearing the buffaloes and the hens. Okay, and sometimes when he do not have enough money, so sometimes he takes credit from a bank. Credit means loan. Okay, borrowings. When we borrow money from someone, that is known as credit. So sometimes he takes credit from a bank or some other agricultural cooperative society. Cooperative society means it is formed by the farmers together who save their money in that society, and whenever someone is in need, they can take that money as loan. So when Munna Lal is in need of money, he can take loan or credit from that cooperative society in order to buy the seeds or the various agricultural tools and equipments. Okay, so this is the scenario of farming in India, it is not very much developed, you can see, right? So Munna Lal, he sells his produce in the mandi. Mandi means the a kind of bazaar. Okay, so he sells the produce in the mandi, which is located in the nearby town. Okay, and there is no storage facility in Munna Lal's village. That means whatever crops he is growing, he need to sell it right away, otherwise the crops will be damaged. He cannot store it for a very long time because there is no storage facility. Okay, so that is why they are forced to sell the products even at a low price, because if they keep waiting to get a good price, their crops will be damaged. Okay, and students, in the recent years, few steps have been taken by the government in order to develop storage facilities. All right, now coming to the farm in the USA, let us see how it is different from the one in India. So students, the average size of a farm in the USA, it is much larger than that of India. It is around 250 hectares. Can you see the difference? In India it is around 1.5 hectares, but in the USA and in the other developed countries it is around 250 hectares. It is so large, right? And students, the land itself is so large that the farmers, they reside in their farm itself. Okay, some of the major crops which are grown in the developed countries like the USA are corn, soybean, then wheat, cotton, sugar, beet, etc. Okay, so Joe Horan is a farmer from the USA. So now we will be discussing about him. So Joe Horan is a farmer who resides in the Midwest of USA. In the Iowa states, he owns about 300 hectares of land. Okay, so students, Munna Lal owned just 1.5 hectare. He was a small farmer. His land holding was very less. But Joe Horan, he owns 300 hectares of land. Such big plot of land, right? And students, he grows corn on his field only after making sure that the quality of his soil and the water resources are good enough, or they are favorable to meet the needs of his crop. So in Munna Lal's case, we could see that the crops which are grown by Munna Lal, these are more or less fixed. Okay, he do not have any other choice. But Joe Horan, before cultivating corns, he makes sure that his soil and water resources are enough to meet the needs of his crop. That means he is very much particular about which crop to grow, how to grow, and whether the resources which are required to grow the crops, these are available and sufficient or not. Okay, and students, in order to protect his crops from insects, different measures, or you can say adequate measures, are taken by Joe Horan in order to protect his crop from pests, the various insects. So time to time pesticides are sprayed. Okay, pesticides are some medicines which are sprayed in the crops in order to protect it from the insects. Okay, and students, Joe Horan is also technically very advanced. So from time to time he sends some samples of his soil to the nearby soil testing laboratory in order to check that whether the nutrients which is there in his soil, it is enough or not, whether his soil has lost some nutrients. So just to check his soil has enough nutrients or not, Joe Horan sends his soil to the testing laboratory time to time. So many precautions are taken, right? So many things are done by the farmers in the developed countries, and such things are not done by the farmers in India at all. Why? Because they cannot afford only, isn't it? And students, as a result, Joe Horan is able to plan a scientific fertilizer program. Depending on whether his soil has the sufficient nutrients or not, he is able to plan and decide how much fertilizer is required to fertilize his soil, what type of fertilizer is required. He is so technically advanced that his computer is linked with the satellite in such a way that he can find out whatever is happening in his field. Even if he is sitting at his home, he can find out what is happening in his field. Okay, and students, this also helps him to use chemical fertilizers and pesticides wherever they are required. He is able to trace the locations where the soil has lost its fertility, so that he can put pesticides and fertilizers precisely on those particular locations, right? And he also uses tractors and various other equipments like seed drills. Seed drills means these are some kind of machines which are used to sow the seeds in the field, okay, so that the seeds can be buried deep inside the earth. Leveler, in order to level the field. Harvesters and threshers, in order to perform the various agricultural operations. Okay, so see how developed the farming system in the USA is, right? And students, there is proper storage facility. In India, the storage facility is very poor. In some places it is not even there, and in some places even if it is there, it is very much poor, it is inadequate. But in the developed countries like the USA, the storage facilities are very good. Okay, so that is why in the rich countries, in the developed countries like the USA, the farmers, they are not poor, they are like big businessmen. And in contrast, in India, the farmers, their condition is so pathetic, right? So students, I hope you have understood the difference between the condition of farming in India and the condition of farming in the USA, right? So students, this you can see, it is a picture of farming in the USA. You can see such large plots of land, you can see such complex equipments are being used, and you can see so many people are working together in the land, right? And it is highly commercialized. Here no family members are used, only hired laborers are used, and more than laborers, modern machines are used, right? So students, today we have come to know about some key words. So first word that we have come to know is mechanization. Mechanization means use of modern technology and use of machines in agriculture. It can be tractor, it can be threshers, it can be harvester, seed drills, levelers, etc. Then HYV seeds, the high yielding variety of seeds. Mandi, the bazaar, chemical fertilizers, right? So students, these are your homework questions for today, alright? So the first question is just for 1 mark. You need to read the sentence carefully, identify the mistake and then correct it, okay? Then in the second question, it is also for 1 mark. Munnalal, he sells his produce in the market which is located in the nearby town, even when the market is not favorable. So you need to give your opinion why he does so, okay? The third question, here you need to compare the farming system of India and the farming system of the USA. Compare means you can write the similarities as well as the dissimilarities. Dissimilarities are a must, okay? So similarities, you try to find out. If you can find some similarities, you can write. Otherwise, you need to write about the dissimilarities. That means the differences, alright? So students, kindly submit your homework tonight between 8 to 9 p.m. okay, and in case if you have any difficulty, do let me know. Okay then, thank you so much, have a nice day.